Hey guys, Lancy here. Hope everyone's doing well. Thanks for joining me. We'll look into some more MTG stocks and also the stock market as a whole. I'm going to start off with the fact that the dollar has taken a bit of a dive. Now, I don't know if I mentioned this yesterday, but there is one thing that always need to watch out for, which is support and resistance. So this can happen for a lot of things, and if you wanted to, you could chart pretty much anything. The way that it works for the dollar and a lot of other currencies and stocks is that they have the 50, the 20, the 200-day moving average, and the 9-day as well. And each one of those has a different level of impact based on how much they, I guess, get to it. So you can see that the dollar was actually hitting the yellow, which is the 50, the 20-day moving average. So the 20-day moving average was one that it was trying to get back to, and it hasn't really broken over it yet. Now, the 9-day is supporting it, the 20-day is above it, and the 50-day is above it, and the 200-day is below it. Now, this is actually a really tricky place to be. It's so much easier when you have something like this going on, where you can just see a clear sell, and then, a bit of confusion, and then another clear sell. But here, you got to sell. You have got a sell indicator. And you can see that the RSI is dropping down, which means that it is losing momentum and strength. So I have a feeling that if the dollar actually continues moving down, depending on what happens in this week's jobs report for the US, that could have a lot of impact on what's going to happen for the next couple of things that I'm going to be talking about. So you can see gold really having hard trouble getting over the 1800 level, below the 200, below the 50, below the 9, below the 20. It's pretty much below every single indicator except for this trend line that I drew. And this trend line, I think I showed it to you guys a long time ago. It starts from 2018. It's pretty much an upward trend line from 2018 where gold was around about $1,187. Now sitting at 1,787, so pretty decent, like 60% increase from what it was, which is quite impressive for gold. I think it's like $1 trillion market, $10 trillion marketplace. So here's the problem: if all of these put the pressure on gold and it breaks below this trend line, and then everything follows it, and this trend line is no longer there for support, gold has got one more chance, 1680. If that 1680 breaks as well, that's it. Gold is going to drop. And when gold drops, something has gone wrong and other things are going to drop as well. So we're going to have to keep an eye on that one. We'll see what happens. If this is a breakout, maybe this is a fake out. We'll see. Bitcoin. So Bitcoin has got a sell indicator. Now this sell indicator, obviously, it makes sense because it just took a huge dive below the 9, below the 20, but the 250-day are still supporting Bitcoin, and that includes for all the other cryptocurrencies because pretty much still what Bitcoin does, other cryptocurrencies are going to follow for at least the short term. Then you have AUD USD, so Australian dollar is getting stronger against the US. And that is probably the big ones that I will cover. I'll just cover Tesla as well. I'm sure if someone's interested. It's a buy. So too bad Michael Burry, but I think by the looks of it, Tesla is still going to go probably up to at least 735 level. So it's got just a little bit more to go. It could go to its all-time highs, but I don't know if that's going to happen in the next couple of days. It might take a bit longer, but you never know with Tesla. Moving on to the reserve list. Sorry, no, this is just MTG stocks for the day. You got Catalyst Stone moving up by 25%. I think this is an okay card. It has not got any other printing. It's in Odyssey and that's it. But this spike is actually kind of crazy. The flashback cards most likely are coming back because of Innistrad, but I am not too sure if this is worth it for the price increase. You can see that it's sitting at $10.42 for TCG, when just a couple of days ago it was sitting at $1.24. Okay, that's an interesting one. Rakdos Signet. So all of these signets, I'm pretty sure I had to talk about. They're usually worth about 4 to 5 times what they say here. So I'd expect them to stabilize a little bit, but they might have also not been bought very much because people just wouldn't have thought that they had much value. So maybe in that case, they will actually have and become something that has value. Golgari Signet, this is a very chaotic graph. lots of buys and then dips. So this is probably going to just move up with the rest of the market. You can see that all of them are moving. Commander Anthology is now moving as well. Guild of Ravnica. The Secret Lairs one is actually sitting at $9.69. That's actually pretty crazy. So value there to be had. If you already have some, good for you. Raging Bull from Legends, not on the reserve list, no other printing, but so is it actually worth the spikes it is getting? I don't know. We'll have to see. I think if you got into this on the ground level, which would have been when I started doing these reserve list cards review, you would have been doing pretty well at this point since it was 26 cents. Now it's like $2 something. But if you get into it now, you're pretty much going to have to make sure you're getting into it for the legends and the collectability part. It's not a very playable card. Fire and Ice from Apocalypse. We talked about this card in the past. Sitting at $2.99. Quite a bit of a gain in one day. Selesnya Signet. Another one of the signets from the Secret Lair series. Pretty decent gain. All of these signets are still moving up. They're very, very, very in demand right now. Wrath of God Secret Lairs. Pretty stable. $15. Dropping down to about $12. Anger of the God Secret Lairs. Great art. Really jumping up now. How to see if it's actually worthwhile. I think there's better cards that are going to come out from this. This is just a collectible. So Conrad the Grim from Zendikar Rising Commander decks. Really good card. This is specifically from the Zendikar Rising Commander decks. You can get the Throne of Eldraine one for $1.13. It's just a really powerful card for a uncommon. Lightning Helix Magic Player Rewards. This is a cool collectible item. Very much a flavor text if you wanted to get it. Cool art. It's sitting around about a $13 marketplace with $17 average. I think it's one of those weird ones where it actually has flipped. But Lightning Helix by itself is still a $1.20 card. Now moving on to the dual lands. So nothing really shocking here. Everything is quite stable. You can buy some Bayous for about $460. I don't know if that's actually decent anymore. And Plateau, just flatlining all over. Tiger is dropping down, so this is an interesting one, but not by enough. I mean, TCG Player has got a really heavily played for $299, which sounds great, but then you got to remember where it came from. And a heavily played one is going to be pretty rough on the edges, hard to sell back. Oh, okay, sorry, that's some already played. Actually, you know what? That's actually really decent because you can see some heavily played ones that are actually further up the food chain than this moderately played. Maybe my time is near. Get that Tiger at last. So moving to MTG Goldfish, we got a 11% move for Den of the Bugbear, now sitting at $5. Werewolf Pack Leader now gaining by 10% to now sit at $3.73. 9% gain for Asika's Chariot, now sitting at $2.73. The biggest drop, Liliana Scourge. Oh, I've never seen that card before. M21 apparently. Okay, sure. 66 cents. I don't know. Moving on to Pioneer. Any big gains? Polyraptor gaining by 4% to now sit at $15.19. I did not realize it was that much of an expensive card. Nylea, God of the Hunt, now sitting at $8.38, a 4% gain. Xenagos, the Reveler, a 5% gain to now sit at $5.49. A lot of the gods are actually moving up by the looks of it. You got Morgus, God of the Slaughter, moving up by 4% and I sit at $13.46. Biggest drops, Ulrich, the Callan Horde. Now, this guy had a huge run up, so an 8% drop is actually not that much. He's sitting at $10.13, and that is the biggest drop, really. Moving to Modern, Cavern of Souls, still on the list, $95 for a 4% gain. Cloudstone Courier, a 7% gain to now sit at $54.99. 20% gain for Opal Eye Konoda's Yojimbo, which is actually a really cool card. I don't have it in my collection. Sliver Legion, a 7% drop to now sit at $50.40. Vesuva, now a 8% drop to sit at $17.52. Rakif of the Many, I didn't realize he was also that expensive, a $15.28 card, even after dropping by 8%. Okay. And Innistrad, the Wild Hunt. I just want to cover what might be happening in the markets. You can never trust these. You got 600, you know what? I'm not gonna. I'm just gonna go straight to the spoilers. You can't trust any of those prices. Rise of the Ants, 6 mana for a sorcery to create 2/3/3 green insect creature tokens and gain 2 life. Has got flashback for 8. Kind of expensive, but oh well. I think we covered Adelina. Hostile. Ooh, is this another one of those flip cards? Sacrifice it. Put a sacrifice, then you have through. Okay. Sure, I'll check out the flip for that. That looks kind of cool. Bloodthirsty Adversary. Wow, that is some wall of text right there. 1 colorless, 1 red for a 2/2 with haste. Okay, this is going to be a red deck for sure. This is going to be an in-demand card, guys. Just a heads up. This is going to be the next. What's that? What's the one that looked like Rudy upside down? When Bloodthirsty Adversary enters the battlefield, you may pay 2 colorless, 1 red any number of times. When you pay this cost 1 or more times, put that many +1/+1 counters on the adversary, then exile that many target instant or sorcery cards with mana value 3 or less from your graveyard and copy them. You may cast any number of the copies without paying their mana cost. Oh my god. Is that insane? That feels insane. So you're just going to be chucking like lightning helixes and lightning bolts for free? No, not for free. So every 3 mana you spend, you get to cast instants and sorceries that are 3 mana or less from the graveyard, and you get this 2/2. So if you spend 5 mana, you get a spell and a 2/2 with haste. And it gets a +1/+1. So you get if you spend 5 mana, you get a 3/3 with haste and a possible 3 mana spell from your graveyard. So it's like drawing a card. So for 5 mana, you get to draw a card, you get to cast that card, and you know it's less than 3 mana, but 3 mana or less, and you get a 3/3 haste. Okay, that's pretty good. 5 mana on a red deck is not the best, but you know you're going to win by that time. Still, looks like a cool card. Mask of the Griselbrand. 1 colorless, 2 black for a legendary artifact equipment. Equipped creature has flying and lifelink. Whenever a equipped creature dies, you may pay X life where X is its power. If you do, draw X cards. Equip 3. That is insane. Oh my god. All of these are insane. That's not that insane. Mystic Skull. You know what? I want to find out what the transform is. Sacred Fire. 1 colorless, 1 red, 1 white for a... Oh, it's a weaker lightning helix, but it's 6. It's got flashback for 6 mana, which is actually really damn expensive for what it is. You got Duel of the Dominant, Willow Geist, 1 green for a 1/1 with trample. Whenever 1 or more cards leaves your graveyard, put a +1/+1 counter on it. When it dies, you gain life equal to its power. Kind of cool. Sun Gold Sentinel, 1 colorless, 1 white for a 3/2 human soldier. When Sentinel enters the battlefield or attacks, exile up to 1 target creature from a graveyard. Covered, 1 colorless, 1 white. Choose a color. Sentinel gains hexproof from that color until end of turn and cannot be blocked by creatures of that color. Activate this ability only if you control 3 or more creatures with different powers. That's actually really hard to control 3 or more with different powers. Your tokens wouldn't work. I saw Teferi in here while I was scrolling down. I'm just going back to see if I can find him. There is some cool stuff here for sure. Sigardian Savior, 3 colors, 2 white for a 3/3 flying angel. When the Savior enters the battlefield, if you cast it, return up to 2 target creature cards with mana value 2 or less from the graveyard to the battlefield. Infinite combos, here we come. Actually, that's not really infinite unless you can blink her. Does it say when it enters the battlefield? Yeah, I mean, I don't know if there's a 2 mana card that lets you blink, but you can certainly get her to return back to your hand for some value. Teferi, who slows the sunset. She's breaking it all. You got so many werewolves in here, but I just do not enjoy werewolves that cause you to flip your card. Hostile Hostel. turns into creeping in, so they still have the creepy stuff. Whenever creeping in attacks, you may exile a creature card from your graveyard. If you do, each opponent loses X life and you gain X life, where X is the number of creature cards exiled with creeping in. Huh. So the more, and it phases out. Very hard to deal with. Very nice. Mystic Monstrosity. Lands you control have tap. Add 1 mana of any color. Oh my god, that's actually really cool. Okay. 3 green, green, green sorcery. Look at the top 5 cards of your library. Put 2 permanent cards with mana value 5 or less among them onto the battlefield. Put the rest at the bottom of your library in a random order, and then it's got flashback. Actually, that's pretty powerful. And exterminate the lineage. Okay. Target creature gets -4/-5 until end of turn. Creature tokens get -2/-2 until end of turn. Instant 3 mana. That's actually really cool. Okay, that's pretty powerful. Okay, guys, that's it from me. Thanks for watching. Have a good one, and see you later.